Testing, testing. One, two, three. Testing, testing. All right. Let's see here. I think we good. All right. So we are live. We old school live. Um, Trying some new things. Trying to get back on my A game. Kill two birds with one stone. Play a little chess and talk about a little politics. So last night, I was, trying to make a little bread and saw the saw the post about the public housing executive decision. You see the thumbnail. Basically, the long-term public housing residents are looking in, and basically they're going to take that away. The lifelong public housing residents that use public housing as a lifelong solution to handle their housing issue. It looks like the Trump administration is trying to take that away. I don't know how much legs this is going to go. Like I said last night, had some problems. My Bluetooth on my car was messing up the audio. So I was cooking, and today I'm cooking. I'm cooking even better. I'm gonna cook even better. Last night was gas station steaks. Today is Wagyu prime beef steaks. Okay, so play a little chess and again talk a little politics. Okay, let me see what's going on here. Says the chat is disabled for this live stream. Let's see if I can fix that. Let me see if I can fix that real quick. Hold on. We want some chat. We don't necessarily want to take away the chat. Let me see here. Let me see what we could do about that. Let me see. I think we might have chat. Let me see here. Let me see if we got chat going on. We should have a chat. Let me see. Oh, we don't have a chat. Let's see here. Let's see if we can fix this. Let's see if we can fix this real quick. Might not be able to fix it. Might actually not be bad. It might not actually be bad to not have a chat, to be honest. What, you know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't like I get a bunch of support. Let me see here. So, let me see what I can do here. See if I can get my chat here. All right, let's see what we can do here. All right, let's see here. See what we can do. All right, so let me open up this app here. That's me. Okay, got it. All right, cool. All right, let's see here. Said chat is disabled for this live stream. Well, I'll figure that out. Maybe I'll figure that out on the next live stream. So this one, let's see. It looks like the chat is disabled for some reason or another. Looks like the chat is disabled. But anyway, we'll just continue on. Yeah. So basically, yeah, the Trump administration looks like it is. Let me actually pull up some type of article talking about this. Basically executive order. Let's see here. Yeah, ever since my cat went outside for the first time, he been bugging me every day to go back outside. He wants to go outside every single day, and he was an outside cat when I basically he was a feral cat when I got him. He was a kitten, and he was in the house a lot. He just got used to being in the house for years. He went outside and he just re-sparked his love for the outdoors. So yeah, he's bugging me every freaking day about going outside because he wants to have some type of he wants to have some fun outside. Let's see what's going on. I'm getting an error message here. Let me see here. Yeah, we still live. We still live. All right. So let me get rid of this here. Let me turn this up here. Let me go turn this back up here. All right. So this is basically an article right here. I'm gonna read this off. While I drink my tea. Trump calls for a freeze of 100 HUD programs, then denies it. Public housing, housing vouchers, and community development block grants are up for review. This story has been updated with further information released by the Trump administration, as well as statements from the Mortgage Brokers Bankers Association, Federal Housing Administration, and U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs. Okay. The Trump administration caused confusion across numerous industries on Tuesday morning when it sent a memo that directs federal agencies to conduct a review of funding for thousands of government programs, including 100 that are administered by the Department of Housing and Urban Development, aka HUD. The memo states that all agencies must submit an analysis that includes answers to 14 questions and submit it to the Office of Management and Budget by February 7th. The review applies to any agency and program that has funding planned through March 15th. Later on Tuesday, though, the administration sowed even more confusion by releasing a follow-up memo formatted as question and answer stating that funding related to rental assistance and similar programs will not be paused. But the follow-up memo also directs agencies concerns about programs and question to consult with OMB to begin to unwind these objectionable policies without a pause in payments. In the next answer down, it says that the pause, which is previous said into a pause, is temporary and necessary to act as faithful stewards of taxpayer money. Major programs with HUD include Community Development Block Grants, CDBG, the Public Housing Operating and Capital Funds, Section 8 housing vouchers, the Choice Neighborhoods programs, and project based rental assistance. These are numerous other programs related to the youth, homelessness, Native Americans, fair housing, lead reduction, veterans housings, people's with AIDS, and manufactured housing. All right. So basically, this is January 28th. That's like a week ago, pretty much. So it's a freeze. I guess they're doing basically an audit. They're doing basically a government audit. Okay. So basically, here's the thing. This is what I said last night. Okay. I don't know the validity of this. Okay. It might be basically non-valid. Okay. It also even if it is valid, like I said last night, the judges have to basically give some type of credence if this is like not constitutional and stuff like that. It Judges can override executive decisions. Okay, so here's the thing, right? A lot of people are panicking already. A lot of people are going absolute crazy. People are losing sleep. People are mentally unfit and unwell because I would say people on a lower socioeconomic level and even on a middle level economically, they are shaking in their boots because they are the most vulnerable for any type of government action, any type of need for any type of government assistance. They are very very vulnerable for that. Now here's the thing, right? People always talk about communism, socialism, Marxism, all these things, right? Well, it's to say that the United States government doesn't have socialist programs. Section 8 is a socialist program. Okay. Basically, a lot of government subsidies are government socialist programs. Okay. So when people talk about communism, socialism, Marxism, as to say the United States does not have that element that is involved with that as well, you absolutely probably need to read more books. You need to listen more than talk more. Okay, because you don't have a clue about what societies make up as far as their government. Public housing, public transit, anything with the word public in it, it is a socialist program. It is based off of people in society paying taxes into that society and having public departments within the government for people to use. Okay, they don't necessarily have to use it. I know people personally, they don't like using public transportation. A lot of people in Chicago are bougie. If you It's some people, they pride themselves that they've never taken public transportation ever, or even they haven't took public transportation since they were a young lad or whatever. Uh, you know, they basically just look at it like, okay, that's something that people use that are lower income, which is not. Okay, it is absolutely not. It's millionaires that take public transportation. Just like in New York, there's a lot of people use the subways because the New York subway system is one of the best subway systems in America. It is pretty much that's where Chicago basically modeled their subway system after. Now, again, a lot of people do not like using the public subway system because, or even bus system, because you do have to deal with, you rub shoulders with the lower socioeconomic individuals when you actually take part of that, because some people, they don't have cars, they don't even have enough money to have a car, and they have to use public transportation. So anything public is a social program, okay, which is tied into historically socialism, okay, in case you didn't know that. Now, that being said, basically, a lot of what is going on apparently is a lot of government spending. They have so many what is called pork bills, where it's just a lot of goofy stuff that they have as far as what they're spending money or have spent money on or allocated budget wise for, and basically it's a lot of trimming that has to be done. The U.S. government is actually in debt over $35 trillion. You got to keep that in mind. It is in debt over $35 trillion to various countries, like for example China, Japan, the European Union. They countries within Europe. The government of the United States has U.S. Treasury bonds with those actual countries for basically debt that they had to take out. Okay, so you have again $35 trillion that the government is indebted to. Every taxpayer in America has to pay that debt. The government is responsible for paying down that debt. So it affects a lot of things. It's long overdue. Pretty much any president in their right state of mind should be trying to figure out a way to pay that debt down. Okay, you gotta think about it, right? I don't like to talk about, what I'm saying, the feminist president, that was to be, that wasn't. She basically mismanaged over $2 billion in almost $2 billion in campaign funding. She had no cares. She was nonchalant about it. Basically everything was being managed for her. She was being told what to be told. Basically, like I just said, she was being told what to be told. And it's like, yeah, you see the aftermath of this. Just imagine if that particular person was in office, it would be absolutely nightmarish as far as the actual $35 trillion is going to, most likely it would, in just the logic behind it, it would be going up. Basically with that woman in office. I love a good AKA woman, but I'm not saying that particular one was the one that's supposed to be running the country. That's all I'm saying. Okay. But the thing is that, yeah, that comes to mind when I think about, the budget. Okay. So anyway, this particular problem with HUD, with Section 8 vouchers, with public housing, a lot of people use public housing as a lifelong solution. I mentioned three parties that's going to be affected by this. Let's just say, hypothetically, it actually goes through. One party is going to be the people that are cosplaying poverty. Because you got people that absolutely cosplay poverty. They're not in poverty. They're balling out of control. They ride a Mercedes Benz. They're a couple, or even just a solo, just a woman single by herself. She's cosplaying poverty because it's a thing, right? That's where the whole welfare queen stuff came from. Basically, she's balling out of control. She has an underground hair studio. She has a private daycare, underground daycare. She's making everything cash. She's got money under the mattress, money in the safe, and she's got a link card, and she gets Section 8, and she got other government subsidies because on paper, she's basically in poverty. Okay, it's kind of like what the wealthy and rich do. On paper, they're actually rich, but they're not really rich. They could be in debt, but their assets to a bank, it'll say, "Oh, I got $1 million in property. I got $10 million in property." But cash wise, they don't really have hardly anything. Even myself, like it's crazy. I don't really have that much money, but I got real estate that I own. Okay, but you know what I'm saying. That's kind of how the reverse as far as like what a quote unquote welfare queen would have basically a whole bunch of cash. They'll be cash rich but asset poor. Okay, so it's like reverse, and you got people to do this, and then if they have a boyfriend, you usually have a boyfriend that helps them, basically facilitate all of this and keep this going to keep the cosplaying going. They basically just work cash with each other, look out for each other, and they ball out of control while cosplaying poverty. These people are gonna be okay. They're gonna just transition right into being a renter. They're not gonna be a lifelong public housing recipient. Second person is the person that's not cosplaying. They kind of do have some problems. They have like they like halfway in as far as they have some issues with kind of making the rent on their own. They have maybe their parents were living in public housing, and they're like a second or third generation public housing member. The elevator might not go to the top floor that much. Those individuals, they're gonna probably struggle, okay, with the lifelong ban. Let's just say hypothetically it does go through. They're gonna have an issue with that. They're gonna be the ones that have an issue with actually paying rent to someone, a private party. Thirdly, is the actual people that are in poverty, that are severely in poverty. Like you got some people that are severely, extremely in poverty, meaning the poverty, I believe, rate is like less than $13,000 a year. If you make below that or at that amount, you're considered in poverty. You got some people that don't even make $10,000 a year. They don't even make $5,000 a year, which is $500 a month, or just about, right. They don't even make that. Okay, so those people are going to be the ones that severely get basically thrown under the bus in this type of scenario, because they are not they can't necessarily compete and pay rent. Okay, so hypothetically, if this goes down, you're gonna see a lot more people that are homeless. One, and two, you're gonna also see a lot more people renting. Rent is gonna go through the roof. Real estate is gonna go through the roof, because all of these, cosplaying poverty people, which is quite a bit of them. It's a big, big, big racket in America. That is the racket. That is why people come to America. That's one of the reasons why people come to America, because of the actual government assistance that you can get. The subsidies that you can get, Section 8, the welfare, food stamps, right? Other things. Those people are going to, basically stimulate the economy, because they already had the money. They already had the grit, the hustle, and the know-how to pay rent. They're going to actually be paying rent, okay? They're going to be buying property because the gig is up, the party's over. They got to go, basically matriculate into the actual system, the financial system. So what this is going to do is actually get people to basically get into the system and actually buy real estate, pay cash rent, and obviously it's going to be some problems with that because people that have basically commercial housing, they're going to have issues with these people most likely trying to pay them rent, trying to get them excuses, all this type of stuff because a lot of these people are hustlers. People always talk about scammers. You got poor scammers and you got rich people that scam. You got wealthy people that scam. So it's usually they associate poor people with scamming. No, some of the best scammers known to man are basically wealthy and rich individuals. But you got some very, very, very good scam artists that are basically lower income. Just last night, I got basically scammed, but fortunately I was able to get reimbursed for it. Some lady ordered some pizza and tried to basically she said she didn't have the cash, and I had already gave her the pizza, and then she said she ain't had no money, and this was an older woman. This woman had to been in her late 40s or early 50s, and outside of a hotel, and and she was black. Somebody mama outside of South Holland Hotel Super 8 didn't have enough money to buy pizza. Okay, so she had to scam DoorDash to do that. So it is a thing, and a lot of times it's just people trying to use things to supplement their lack. But the thing is this: it's gonna be a lot of that. It's gonna be a lot of people trying to hustle because their hustle dried up. Okay, so I'm me personally, I like this because I've told people personally that they should buy real estate, and I knew that they had the money and know how to do so, and they never did it. And they just kept getting this voucher, and they basically it stymied their growth and their potential, and basically doing the whole cosplay thing. So I think that basically I would say the cosplayers definitely don't have any of my sympathy whatsoever. These people deserve, really, to be honest, to be given. I mean, like, need to be investigated, like people investigate RICO cases and stuff like that. They need to send, like, what I'm saying, government agents to actually, like, monitor these people and see actually how they actually live, the car that they drive, like actually do an audit, personal audit on these people that are cosplaying this government subsidy system, and actually see the cars they drive, like like the feds do, just be in a van taking photos and video footage and stuff of their actual future defendants or whatever. They should do that to these people, because you got a lot of people that cosplay. Jewish people in New York cosplay welfare, and they get caught with welfare fraud and all kinds of other frauds and stuff like that. All kinds of people be cosplaying this stuff, man. They do this all the time. It's a free handout, and it's a hustle, and people do it because it's free money. Who wants to okay, all the people talking about basically they want to some crab boils, unlimited crab boils, steaks, lobsters, all of this type of stuff. Well, that's what you get when you get a food stamp card. You get $500 a month, $700 a month. Okay, that's enough to have a crab boil every single week. At least probably even every day if you manage it right. And that's what they do. They game the system, and it takes it away, and it makes it harder for the elderly, the disabled, the true people that actually are poor. It takes it from them, and it also robs basically the taxpayer basically any type of funding. That's just funding that for people that don't need it because they cosplaying the system. Okay, they not poor. They got more money than you got. You know what I'm saying? They laughing at you because they got a Mercedes Benz and they live, whatever they live. In Chicago, it's crazy. Like you could live in a upper class neighborhood and have a Section 8 voucher. Okay, like you can literally live in Lake Forest with a Section 8 voucher. And it's like a person that has to actually pay to live in Lake Forest, they have to struggle like nobody's business to live in Lake Forest and pay that rent, or if they, what I'm saying, a condominium or whatever to pay, and it's a lot of money that they have to pay. Well, they got that Section 8 voucher, they getting, half off or 75% of the rent paid. I mean, and they got a freaking Mercedes Benz, they got a freaking Audi, they got a freaking whatever you name it car. They got cash on cash on cash because they good hustlers. I give it to these people. They good hustlers. I get it. But those people absolutely don't need no damn subsidies. Those people are the main ones that don't need nothing. They need to take their ass to fucking work and goddamn it, go back to school and actually compete and stop trying to because see, people, what they do is that's why people work at Walmart and shit. Like they purposely get jobs that are underpaid or paid a certain amount just so they can keep getting Section 8, just so they can keep getting welfare. So they purposely stay non-competitive as far as their work, but in actuality, they get money from other places. Some people they ain't even really getting that much. Like they just don't make that much at their job. They get a refund check, a big tax refund check every year, so it suffices them. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, some of these people, you know, they absolutely. That's why you see people, they give you bad attitudes at Walmart, at the gas station, at a lot of these places because they working there, knowing why they working there. They getting Section 8, they getting food stamps purposely, because they're playing the game, they're playing the system. So you know what I'm saying? I already know that. I'm not the only one that knows that shit. Like that shit old as hell. That shit go back to the 60s and before that. Like, I mean, basically, that's just one of many hustles that people have been doing before I was even born. You know what I'm saying? And them people, yeah, like, I hope this shit stands. I swear to God, if it's anything that I hope stands, I hope it's this. Because I absolutely hate these people. I hate these people with a passion. Because these are the same people, man, that they look down on the regular man that works and the regular woman that works, and they know they getting over, and they like, wow, why don't your goof ass get over? Why don't you get you a link card and then work at Walmart and then give people bad customer service and attitudes, you know what I'm saying, and just play broke, for a fucking subsidy check. And it's like, yeah, man, I swear to God, man, I can't stand these motherfucking people, man, that be doing this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just so many people, and this is race unabated. I ain't talking about it's more people that are white Americans that get welfare and government subsidies than anybody in the country, because the country is mostly Caucasian. Okay, so they're the most that's doing this. You know what I'm saying? So if it does stand, he's actually going to they're going to be the ones that is going to impact the most, because they are the most. So obviously people in the hood, they already suffering, so they're gonna be suffering more. But you know what I'm saying. As far as the populace, 77% of the actual demographics of this country is white Americans. They are the progenitors of government subsidies. They are going to be the most impacted by this. But again, you got to understand, out of that demographic, how many of them be cosplaying poor and cosplaying the whole system? Okay, like they do the same thing, be working at gas stations, you know what I'm saying, working in Walmart. They be having attitudes and shit too. I mean, basically they gonna be the most impacted by this. So this is going to open up real estate investors, some people that basically they gonna have to. Let's just say hypothetically it goes through. They are going to have to actually pay rent, pay cash, and it's gonna open up more rent to own opportunities, seller financing. It's going to be a real estate boom because of this, because these people are going to have to get a place to stay, and they're going to get it. It is absolutely, they're going to get it. They're not going to be on the street. I mean, it's going to be some people that are going to have to live with their parents or live with other people and stuff like that. But this is going to absolutely administer another real estate boom, in my opinion. It's just my opinion. I might be wrong on it, but I mean, it's just common sense as far as you're gonna have hypothetically more people that's going to pay rent because they don't have any government subsidy to depend on, because they've been on for more than 2 years. There you go. I mean, it's just common sense. So that's my take on it. Hopefully I can play some chess here, get some wins. I know you probably rooting against me because I got a lot of haters. But you know what I'm saying? One thing about me, the difference between me and my daddy and my mama, I love the hate, baby. I love it. You know what I'm saying? It's like it fuels my fire. So, you know what I'm saying? Hate on, you know. Let's see here. So yeah, this was before I got on. Somebody in Mexico. I just beat them. I had a tough last few months. So my chess rating has dipped off like significantly. My head space was pretty messed up. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully I can do better. We're in France. Looks like. So got some heavy hitters in the house. France, man, that's all they do is fucking play chess and sit in coffee shops, drink tea, fucking and play chess. Like New York. You know what I'm saying? I still gotta go to New York. This the year I think I'm gonna do it. I'm pretty sure this is the year that I'm gonna go to New York, and I'm gonna try to do some things. There's a lot of things that I actually want to do. Oh, he got 9 seconds, or he gonna resign. Got some connection issues. Oh, there you go. So, yeah, I wanna play chess in a park in New York. I also wanna play basketball at Rutgers. I've been wanting to do that shit since I was like in my early 20s, or actually late 20s. But yeah, I definitely I'm trying to get back on the court. Oh yeah, so whew, yeah, man, I kind of like this, man. It's not bad, you know what I'm saying? It's pretty cool, you know. I think I'm gonna do this more often. You know what I'm saying? So, kind of like this. Let's see here. See if I can move this over. Yeah, make it a little bigger. All right. So, Leone, he looks like he's got some connection issues. So one of the things about this, like playing chess online, is like, yeah, you're not just playing opponent, you playing the connection, if you move the chess piece wrong, with the mouse, that messes things up, all that type of stuff. So that's definitely an issue. We're not gonna take no bishop just bearing down on us. We're not gonna take that. We gonna deal with that right there. Okay, not taking that. So we're gonna deal with that right there. That's a good one. So uh, that's a good move right there. That's what you call a pin. Um, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna move right here. I'm gonna move this up, and I'm gonna let that. I mean, obviously, it's no defense with that. So just gonna move there. Oh, okay. I see some opportunity. See something going on right there. I like attacking the queen too. Attacking the queen is definitely a good thing to do. I like doing that. I absolutely do like attacking the queen. Also, it's never it's never safe. Unless it's safe. Yeah, I'm gonna try to figure out how to deal with the chat. But it's I don't know. I mean, honestly, it's some things related to that I ain't necessarily too much worried about. Shoot, because yeah, it's no big deal. I'll look it up because normally supposed to have chat. The chat's supposed to be part of the stream or whatever, but see what's going on with that in the future. All right, so we got some things going on here. Got some activity, whatever. Mm, 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 okay, let's see what's up. Yeah, he don't have that much time because he's had some issues, so he doesn't really have that much time. 30 seconds. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. All right. So we got, he's going to sacrifice his queen. Okay. All right. 24 seconds. 22, 21, 20 seconds. 19, 18, 17. 15, 14, 13. 12, 11. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 6, 5. Wait. 4, 2, 1. Let's see here. Winner.